I don't mind, all right? It's okay. So the actor manager begins. A message from a brother. I'm going to read that part from the text. Dear elder brother, you once said to me, the sons of Bharata were the first actors in the history of theatre. They were Brahmins, but lost their caste because of their profession. A curse plunged them into disrepute and disgrace. If one values one's high birth, one should not touch this profession. So the message from the brother Aravasu to Paravasu is this. He begins by calling, Dear elder brother. All right, and he says, you once told me the story of how Bharata Muni received the art of drama from Indra. All right, God Indra. And you also told me that the first actors in the history of theatre were Brahmins. They were the descendants of Bharata. They were the sons of Bharata. All right. But, and obviously they were Bharata Muni. So, you know, they were Brahmins. But they lost their caste because of their profession. Okay, because they chose to be actors, which is considered to be a low-born profession. They lost their Brahmanical position. They lost their caste. A curse plunged them into disrepute and disgrace. You know, the curse of being actors, you know, they became disreputed, they became disgraced. And once when Paravasu was telling the story to Aravasu, he says that if one values one's high birth, one's position as a Brahmin, one should not touch this profession. So this was probably an advice given by Paravasu to his young brother. And I accepted this, he says. Okay, I accepted this when you told me not to go into acting. But today I am a criminal. Look at that. More enigma. Okay, he's already a criminal, he says. I have killed my father. Wow. Now, how has that happened? We don't know. Let's hope that we will get to know in the course of the play. So he has killed his father, who was a noble Brahmin. He was not a bad man. He was a noble Brahmin. All right. So I'm already a criminal because I've killed my father. So that is what happened 3 years ago. All right. I already stand tarnished. My reputation is already gone. Okay. So what is wrong if I become an actor now? I have already lost my high caste. I've already been disgraced. I've already am a criminal. So I may become an actor now. This follows from your own words. You yourself told me this, right? If one cares about high birth, one should not be an actor. But now that I do not have any of that, I can become an actor. So please do not bar the way now. So please do not stop us from performing. Let me come with the troops into the city and perform. There is a long pause after this, and everyone is looking at Paravasu very, very eagerly. The fire sacrifice is nearing completion, the king says, all right? And we have conducted it without a blemish, without any errors, without any issues. We have conducted it for 7 years. And you, the chief priest Paravasu, have guided us, all right? Let us complete it, let it rain. Once it rains, we can have as many plays as we want, all right? So the king is anxious. He is not sure whether to allow this theater group to come here or not, because he's afraid, you know, of anything happening, of how Paravasu will react. What if there is some issue? Okay, he does not want this. They're almost at the end of the 7-year yagna, and you know, he does not want anything disrupting that. A sacrifice a sacrifice approaches completion, as you know, every yagna, every sacrifice, whenever it's approaching completion, whenever it's going to end, demons gather in the shadows. Demons who wants to make sure that, you know, this yagna is not successful. For every yagna this happens, the demons gather in the shadows and they try to disrupt the process. All right, the danger of disruption increases with the completion. Okay, when the completion is approaching, the danger of disruption increases. You said so yourself. You as a chief priest told this to me yourself. So to permit a criminal like your brother in the vicinity of the sacred fire, the sacrificial fire, is risk at this stage. Okay, so I don't want to take that risk, he says. Paravasu says, perhaps the sacrifice needs danger. Now that is different. All right, he says that perhaps we need danger. So the king says, but you drove him away yourself. You called him a demon. Why do you want to bring him back and risk everything? Perhaps you can't keep demons away from the sacrifice, Paravasu says. Maybe there is no way for us to keep the demons away. All right, maybe this is a test. Okay, it's a bond that we can't break. The demons and sacrifices go together. It's a bond that we can't break. Let's have the play. We shall all watch. All right. So the courtier boards. He runs to the actor manager, who nods enthusiastically. They depart. The priest disperse discussing the play. They're very happy that they will get to watch the play. Then the troupe comes on stage, the acting troupe comes on stage, and there are only 3 men. The troupe in the Varayan Petilla, because there are only 3 men. There is the actor manager, his brother, who is limping, okay, and there is Aravasu, Paravasu's brother, who is only 18 years old. He's very young, all right, and they're all carrying the bundles of costumes with them. Aravasu is also carrying a mask, all right, and a couple of women are also accompanying them, who will provide the music. And a few wind instruments and drums are the instruments that they will be using. The king, Paravasu, and other priests sit in front. Behind them gathers the general populace. So look again, the difference of caste and class is there. Okay, so the king and the others are sitting in front, all right, and the others are gathering behind him. The actor manager starts singing the introductory verse, and then the stage is darkened and it's leaving Aravasu in a pool of light. So the spotlight is on Aravasu. Aravasu begins. He's agreed, Nithilai, he says. All right, he's agreed, Nithilai. He'll be there to watch the play. So this seems like, very, very autobiographical at this point. Aravasu is talking about talking to Nithilai, a woman, and he's saying that my brother is going to be there to watch the play. I am going to act on stage. I hope that you are watching. Please, please, please watch. The play is about to begin. Okay, he's addressing the audience, and at the same time he's addressing the character Nithilai. After all these years, it's going to happen. I always wanted to be an actor, and after all these years, it's going to happen. But and brother knows, and I know that this isn't the real thing. Okay, so this play within a play that's going to happen. It's almost like in Hamlet, where the play within a play, it reveals the truth about the king's death and about Claudius's involvement in it. Similarly, here I think the same thing is going to happen. The play within the play is going to reveal some truths. So that's why probably he says that after all these years it's going to happen, but you, I, and my brother know that this isn't the real thing. There is something else. All right. The real play. This is a fiction borrowed from myths. Okay, so this play that we are going to play here is not a reality. It is a fictional thing that is borrowed from myths, and the real play, all right, began somewhere else. So this thing that's happening on the stage here is not the real play. The real play began somewhere else, perhaps a month ago. Was it really a recent? A month ago? It seems ages. Why does it seem like ages, even though it's only been a month? Because of the darkness. It seems like ages of darkness has passed between the real play that happened somewhere else and the stage play that's happening here on the stage. And what was going to happen? You and I were going to get married, begin a new life, and I had to meet the elders of your tribe. All right, so he's setting the stage for us. He's telling us that what was the context, where are we going to begin the play? That Nithilai and Aravasu were going to get married, and because Nithilai is a hunter girl, remember, so Aravasu has to take permission from the tribe, the hunter tribe that she belongs to, the elders of the tribe, and he has to ask permission. He has to ask for her hand in marriage. So he was going to do that. All right, and that is when Nithilai, who is played by a girl of 14 years of age, comes and stands next to Aravasu. Though they are obviously fond of each other, they seem to be in love, but they do not touch each other except when specified. And with that, the prologue ends, and then we move on to Act 1. Now, something that you have to understand is, until the prologue, all right, the prologue before this part where Aravasu's dialogue begins, it is the play. Okay, it is the frame narrative. Inside that, we are going to have a play within a play. Now, this is a technique that Girish Karnad's used in another play also. Even in his Hayavadana, he has the same technique of frame narrative of Hayavadana and the inside story of Padmini, Devadatta and Kapila. Okay, in Nagamandala also the same thing happens. There is a frame narrative of the writer and the flames, and then the inside story about Rani and Appanna and the snake. All right, so in most of his plays, he's using this particular technique of having a frame narrative where someone comes and says that we are going to say the story. All right, we are going to tell you a story. This is what's happening, right? Quote or fire sacrifice in the background namku step set chedu, but Aravasu is coming and saying that he seems to be like the narrator of the play at the same time the actor of the play, and he's telling us that I am going to tell you a story. And when the story begins, I was going to get married to this girl, Nithilai, and But before that, he's also referring to the present time name പറയുന്നുണ്ട് that my brother is watching the play. I hope you are also watching the play. So past and present ഒരു mix up ഇവിടെ കാണുന്നുണ്ട്. Okay, so we'll discuss this further when we come to, you know, reveal the truths and the other hidden things. There are many things are hidden to us right now. ഇതെല്ലാം നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലായി കഴിയുമ്പോൾ we will come back and discuss all these things, all these ideas once more. Okay, so we're stopping here. Please read Act 1 in the rest of during the rest of the hour, and we'll discuss it in the next day. Thank you.